Hey everyone, Kyle here with Screen Riot. Today we're reviewing Free Guy, a comedy from 2021. It's currently streaming on HBO Max and Disney Plus, so go check it out if you haven't seen it. Come back to the show because this is Screen Riot.
Hey everybody, and welcome to the show. I'm Justin, one of your hosts, and alongside me are Eddie, Kyle, and John. And today, like Kyle said, we're taking a look at the movie Free Guy, starring Ryan Reynolds. It is rated PG-13. It's a runtime of 1 hour 55 minutes, and it was directed by Sean Levy. So, Kyle, this was your pick for comedy for this season, I guess, season 5 of Screen Riot. So, why don't you go ahead and tell us what Free Guy is all about?
All right, so basically it's about a character that's an NPC. He's a non-playable character that has a interesting AI built behind him or whatever. So he basically turns into a real player, and some things happen, and it's basically an open world video game. It's pretty cool. I enjoy this movie a lot. Just because it deals with a lot of video games. It kind of reminds me of GTA and like Deadpool and Wreck-It Ralph kind of baby.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good analogy.
It still has the Ryan Reynolds effect, which has a lot of the one-liners, which is pretty neat.
Well, he is dreamy.
He is dreamy, yes.
It's true. It's like a Focamappuccino.
What?
I don't know. I don't know my coffees. I don't.
Frappuccino iced.
I'd like to try a cappuccino. Please.
But you get a medium coffee, cream, 2 sugars. That's what you get. That's what everyone gets. Every day, always.
Well, hey, somebody's about to get shot.
Yeah, 2 sugars.
Two
Seriously?
sugars.
You're calling him a frappuccino. Okay.
Yeah. He's a tall drink of milk.
Oh, tall glass of
This is
ice cold milk.
This is getting awkward, by the way. Like, at best, this is getting awkward.
No,
Oh, okay. Wow.
What's happening right now?
I don't know, but I don't buy it.
No.
Ugh.
It's Ryan Reynolds. What do you expect?
Well, so I'll start us off here. So, as an avid video gamer, I did enjoy the movie because of all the, the biases towards all the video game references that it does. I think you put this up for comedy, which that's one of the genres that is labeled on IMDb. The thing that got the biggest laugh out of me wasn't even a joke that was said or anything in the forefront. What it was there's a scene. I don't even exactly remember what it was. A scene in they're outside in the city, in Free City, and it's looking at Ryan Reynolds, and in the background there's this guy with a gun just running down the street, and just every like 3 or 4 steps he just jumps.
Yeah.
And then that made me laugh out loud because everybody knows if you play video games, you get bored, you just run and
start
you jump
jumping
around.
Yeah.
So if you go into like a multiplayer lobby, it's just 100 people jumping around.
Yes.
So that actually got the biggest laugh.
I've definitely seen you just get bored and you're just starting to jump around. I'm like, what are you doing? It's like I'm crafting something and he's over there just jumping around. I'm like, golly, you must be bored or something.
So I don't game at all, ever. But the thing I liked about this movie with the gaming, from the gaming aspect, was the whenever he got the glasses, that they were like, okay, you have to, you got to earn points. Like, he starts out with nothing. I like that.
Yeah.
It wasn't
level up.
You see?
Oh.
That's mine. And that's yours.
Oh. What, is one the best or the worst?
There is literally nothing lower.
Yeah, it wasn't like he just, got the glasses and then suddenly, because he's already in the game, he can do anything he wants to do,
Sure.
Whatever. It was like, he had to actually go through and go level by level, which, I mean, obviously
montage.
It had to be a movie. Yeah, it had to be a movie. So you had to, stretch it out and all that. But on top of that, what he had to do to level up was pretty damn funny. I mean, I thought it was funny. Yeah, I like the gaming montages. I thought
you never played
cool.
like Grand Theft Auto or seen anybody play it? Or
I might have done it once. Like I'm just not a gamer, man. Like you want me to go outside and make you a fire, I can do that. You want me to punch someone in the face, I can do that. You want me to play a sport of some kind, I can probably do it. I may suck at it, but I can at least give it a shot. You want me to sit down and play video games? There's going to be a lot of shits and fucks whenever I do that. Like, that's all I can say. Just a whole lot of like.
You play Rocket League.
As a witness to his first time gaming with Rocket
Yes,
League, I can
yes,
attest
that
to the
was
shits
pretty
and
funny.
fucks piece.
Yeah,
That was
That was
quite
pretty funny.
hilarious.
It's
You
not
know-
so much it's not so much the gaming that attracts me. It's just the hyper competition piece. I'm just
Right.
I just want to destroy everything in front of me. So
Well,
I'm
you-
like, what's this? Okay, sure, fuck it. This I have to do this. Okay, let's do that then. Like, I don't, yeah,
Eddie, you know the new like the gamer internet lingo of basically
Noob?
go get a life
Oh.
is right now. It's go touch grass.
Go
Go
touch
touch
grass.
grass.
Oh, nice.
You know,
Nice.
saying you
Touch
gotta
grass.
go outside.
yeah.
It's
that
like, you've
makes
been
sense.
playing too much. Go touch grass.
Wow, that's it's just
So
interesting to
basically,
me. They have to
Justin.
have that.
So Justin, like, he's pretty pale white. Unless if he goes outside, which we saw in the previous episodes of the season, he went outside. He got instantly burned, and here we are.
Yeah, I
Yes.
touched grass and I regret it.
You touched grass, and it burned you.
Yes.
So can I attack something about this movie that I like?
Absolutely.
That I like. That's nothing about the actual movie per se, because it does something that I don't know if the writers and the director and all that, I don't know if they meant to do this, but I feel like this movie is a social commentary about. Because okay, so let me approach it from this way. So when he was going through the paces, like there's a point where I'm like, I found myself like rooting for him, right? I'm like, yes, do this.
Are you
right?
talking about
Like,
the
let's-
leveling up montage?
Yeah, that, but also the ability to kind of like to the point where he was not really in control of the game, but he kind of got to a different level in the game. Like he had his NPC friends who kind of all
Yeah.
stayed down here. And then
Right.
as he rose in those ranks and got more and more control, etc., in the game, he was able to kind of rise above and get to, one could argue, a different social state.
I see.
Right?
Where you're
Okay.
going.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to me with movies like this that, I mean, we find ourselves rooting for him, and anyone who doesn't, it's an interest. I don't know. To me, it's almost like it sort of tells a lot about your personality or what you think about the world. Because if you kind of reduce this to a simple form and you look at it from a realistic standpoint, he's someone who's born into one social strata, and then we watch him try to raise himself up to the next social strata. Basically, is what's taking place, right?
Right.
And we root for that in America, as Americans, especially. We root for that, right? Like Bill Gates started in a garage, you know what I mean? And Jeff Bezos, oh, here's the shitty, apartment or office that Jeff Bezos used to be in. And they're American success stories, right? And then if you say names like Rockefeller, it probably, especially if you're somebody who's from middle class or lower class, there's sort of this like tinge inside of you where you're just like, fuck those guys. Like, I don't know why, right? Like,
Yeah.
but like they're built, born with a silver spoon in their mouth kind of thing. So it's just interesting to me that they are able to make this pseudo social commentary about like leveling up, quote unquote, or getting to the next, going from lower class to middle class to possibly upper class. They're able to make that through a video game analogy. You know what I mean? And I don't know if a lot of people noticed it. I don't even know if it was intentional. I mean, it may not have been intentional for them to make that point. But I think that whenever we have that in movies, it's ingrained in us as Americans, especially, that we root for that little fucker. We're like, yeah, get there. Show,
Right.
stick it to the man. I don't know why, but we do.
I have 3 words for you. Blue shirt guy. BSG is leveling up and at a record pace by playing the hero. It's got people all over the world asking, just who is this guy?
Yeah, I didn't get that myself. I've watched this twice. I didn't get that myself until you just said it, but it totally makes sense when budget Kevin Hart says
I was gonna call him Budget Kevin Hart. You stole my thunder.
Sorry.
Man, I love it here. Like that, a couple days ago, I rode a centaur. Now, it might sound weird. I took a piggyback ride on a half dude and a half horse, whatever a centaur is, I did it.
But no, when he said he said it several times. They sunglass people don't talk to us. Sunglass people don't talk to us.
Yep.
Like they realize they don't know what they are, but they realize that they are lesser than.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the sunglass people are cool. They're the heroes.
Well, and we see that in other movies too. I'm trying to think of the movie that have you ever seen The Secret of My Success with Michael J. Fox?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Long time ago.
I don't think so.
Okay, in the movie, he goes to work in an office for his uncle. His uncle is like the president and CEO of this office building, and his uncle gives him a job in the mailroom because his uncle's a dick. And the guy who shows him around, his name's Styles, because it's the 80s. and the guy's showing him around, and Michael J. Fox is like, good morning to everybody, right? And secretaries and other executives, etc. And Styles, or whatever the hell the guy's name is, he's like, not the suits. And he's like, what? And he, next guy, good morning. And he's like, man, not the suits. And he's like, what are you talking about? He's like, listen, you can say good morning to whoever you want to, but not the suits. And he's like, wait, he's a person. I'm a person. I can't say good morning to him. And he was like, you're not a person. You work in the mailroom. And that shit stuck with me, man. Like that's a pretty ardent, especially in the 80s. You're talking about 87, I think that movie was. Like that's a pretty harsh commentary to make about the whole nature of essentially, not just corporate life, but what life in America was like at the time. If you were working on Wall Street, especially, you were a pseudo god. You were one of the cool kids. You wore glasses, that kind of thing. And that showing on screen, especially, like, listen, there may not be to you a divide here, but there is an unspoken divide here. Don't fucking talk to them unless they talk to you first. And if they talk to you first, be sure to talk to them or else you're out of here. And it's interesting to me that this movie again kind of touches on that. And Secret of My Success is also a comedy. And I almost wonder if they're not pseudo satires in that way. You know what I mean? Again, I don't know if it was intentional.
Possible.
Yeah, I don't know if it's intentional, but
yeah, that's a good point. I didn't notice that either, Eddie. But now that you bring it up, I guess the pseudo caste system that you're talking about.
But what's kind of neat though is he never really knew that he was famous though. He never really knew that he was rising to the top.
Yep.
Until maybe at the very end when everybody in the town was like fighting for him.
Yeah.
So he didn't really know that he was actually becoming popular. He was just doing it just to get with this girl.
So here's a great note, okay?
Booty makes you do weird things.
Think about Jeff Bezos, right? Jeff Bezos, you look at 1998, he's in that shitty office building where his desk is covered in nonsense and he's married to the okay looking lady, right? Fast forward to 2020, they're getting divorced because he's banging the much more attractive housekeeper or something like that. Doesn't even stay with her. Now you fast forward to 2022 and he's Bezos prime. He's got a freaking six pack and he's hanging out with models on mega cruise ships. That guy leveled up, but he didn't realize he was leveling up until late 2000s or mid 2000s.
Same thing with Elon Musk. Elon Musk looked like crap, man. He was balding up here, and then
not anymore. No,
anyway,
those plugs they'll take you far, son. We got
all the way to Mars.
We got hope for you, Justin. But Bill Gates is the same way. And who was the other guy who divorced his wife? The Rock. The Rock had his wife that was like fully supported him, took care of him, made sure that he could rise up in the ranks and all that shit. He started making money in movies. Next thing you know, he's banging other people and cheating on her. And it's like,
so in Free Guy, that never happens.
No, it doesn't.
Because actually people start falling in love in this movie instead of divorcing and getting rich.
True, but
now what's his name? Taika
Waititi.
Taika Waititi. Oh,
yeah,
man, I'm so bad with his name.
Yeah,
he
shows up if you say that 3 times in a mirror.
Yeah. It's okay, man. You can say his name wrong. It's okay.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
Wrong 3 times in the mirror, he shows up. Is that what
he plays?
Yeah, that's what I said.
He plays Antoine, and he's like this. I guess the CEO of Tsunami Games or whatnot. I love how he's so concerned over Free City 2 or Free City 3. It's all about making money and all that kind of stuff. So it's pretty neat to see. You have a lot of battles going on. You have a like man versus machine. You have man versus man, and it's like you've got all these different things coming together in one. And at the very end, it kind of just explodes. And I really liked his character in a way. I know Justin. It was like one of the first things that he laughed at was his character.
People are so busy watching this loser on Twitch and YouTube. You know what they're not doing, guys? Buying Free City 2. Pre-sales are down 16%. 60. That's bad.
Yeah, I'm a huge Waititi fan. So immediately when I saw him, I kind of perked up because I didn't realize he was in the movie actually. So when he showed up on screen, I was like, "Holy shit! That's the guy Waititi." So I think my bias, he was my favorite character. Just got all the laughs out of me just because I find the guy terribly funny.
What am I gonna do? Okay. What to do? Got it. And keep up.
And
What
a
I
good
think is-
writer, and he's a good filmmaker.
What I think is interesting about his character is he plays the same person in everything. He doesn't really do an accent in anything. Like,
Oh no, he doesn't try to hide.
no, it's like he's the same dude in this movie as he is on Our Flag Means Death.
Yeah, where he plays Blackbeard, which is
you know, I'm
a
like
British pirate.
Yeah, or this, and he's like this New Zealand guy,
Yeah, New
just
Zealander.
constantly.
Well,
Yeah.
he's like
pretty
Tom
hilarious.
Cruise in that way, you know. Tom Cruise doesn't do accents.
That's true.
It's like when he's in Valkyrie, he's Tom Cruise.
He plays Tom Cruise. He doesn't play a
He
Nazi.
plays- exactly.
See, let me say too, though, real fast. I like Taika with Taika or Taika.
I think
Like-
it's Taika.
Taika Waititi. Okay, I
Waititi?
like the guy as an
Taika.
actor. I don't have a problem with him. His character, I wasn't. Okay, so here's the only problem I have with this character. It's a very small problem.
You got to have a bad guy.
I agree
Yeah.
with you. I agree with you. But his bad guy is very similar to the bad guy from Ready Player One. Is very similar to the bad guy from Tron. Is very similar to the bad guy from oh crap, I lost the other movie. But like any of these video game movies, there's always this bad guy. It's not like a bad guy who happens to be a different kind of bad guy. It's always this type of bad guy. A guy who's like obsessed with money, doesn't really give a shit about video games. It's like the it's the boogie monster of or the boogeyman, I should say, the boogeyman of the video game world. Like, man, you just don't understand games. You're just here for the money, man. It's always that guy.
Well,
And
some would say that is indicative of what's going on in the industry right now.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
You love Kentucky Fried Chicken, right?
No.
If you love Kentucky Fried Chicken, and I made Kentucky Fried Chicken, and I know that you love Kentucky Fried Chicken, why would I make another restaurant called, I don't know, Albuquerque Boiled Turkey?
no, I'm not saying it's not. I kind of would like to see a different bad guy for video game movies. Oh, I know the other movie, Lego Movie, President Business. Like it's
President
basically
Wow, how original.
It's basically President Business. Yeah, like had he
That's all he
jumped,
thinks about is money and business.
yeah, had he jumped into the game and turned into a Lego, I would have been less surprised. Like,
You know, actually, towards the end, when Waititi brings out his secret weapon of the dude, I
yeah,
I thought that was hilarious.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
funny. But I thought it was going to be like Waititi, like putting himself in the game and like this
Yeah.
unstoppable avatar character or whatever.
Mhm.
But that didn't happen.
Well, he made him when Free Guy or Blue Shirt Guy, as they called him, when he became famous. He was like, oh, well, we need to put his skin in the new game.
Don't get rid of him. People like him. It's all over social media. No, in fact, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna use the skin in Free City 2. All right, nerds. We're gonna make some upgrades to Blue Shirt. All right, roid him out. Make him a hitman or something.
you know what's
Put
funny
the
about
dude in there.
what's funny too, by the way, and I hate to keep harping on the social commentary thing, but I just realized something with the blue shirt thing. I wonder if they're talking about like blue collar, like he's blue collar guy, like he's just a
Oh,
blue
yeah.
collar everyday American guy. You know what I
Probably.
mean? I
Actually,
didn't even
he
think
would
about
be
that.
kind of white collar just because he's a bank teller.
But his bank
The
telling
teller
really
would
white
be
collar.
blue collar, right? Well, no, because like business is white collar.
Blue collar
collar
is
is
more
more
like
like
you're in the
hands-on
field,
work. Yeah.
you're doing construction or something
Yeah.
with your hands, you know. Not
I
just
agree with you. That's more Lego Movie at that point. Yeah.
punching cards of have a great day.
Now the character of Keys, he wears a blue shirt in every scene. Like he has a different blue shirt on. You know,
Mhm.
so it's basically him in the game, right? The
Yeah.
blue shirt guy, but it's him. He would be more white collar too, but I don't know. It's a
Yeah.
Maybe
Good
he was
idea.
Blue Shirt Guy. Maybe Keys was sad that he couldn't express his feelings toward
The girl.
Millie,
Oh,
so he made him a blue shirt because he was sad about that.
That's
How about
very
that?
possible. It's very possible. It's just
Maybe
as
your
plausible
favorite
as what
color
I'm
is
coming
blue.
up with. So yeah.
Maybe your favorite color is blue because he
That too.
made a coffee in the game after her favorite coffee.
Medium coffee, cream, 2 sugars.
You know it.
That is unexpectedly hot.
But I liked the aspect of the two worlds because when Ryan Reynolds' character Guy kisses Millie, what is it, Molotov girl, Molotov girl. When he kisses her and it like smash cuts to her like looking at her computer screen like what. I like those smash cuts between what's in the game versus what's actually playing in real life. And
Well, and two, what she says to him when he's like, I want to kiss you, and she's like, well, if you know how to do that, because it's obviously not part of the game.
right.
Yeah.
At that point, there's no button for that. There's no key combination for that. She's like, well, if you know how to do that, you go ahead.
And then she was talking to Keys, and he was like, "There's no button for that." And she's like, "Oh, he found the button."
Yeah, I was like, "Ooh, that's a little
"Ooh,
risque there."
Okay.
The first time I kiss a non-toxic guy in like forever, and of course he's not even real.
There's not a button for that.
Oh, he found the button.
He found the button. Okay. Anyways, speaking of buttons, like the guy
Smash that like button below.
That's right. Smash that like and
That's right.
subscribe button. Channing
Find the
Tatum.
button.
Channing Tatum in this movie, hilarious because he's playing, a character, Revengeman Buttons, and the the guy playing it is that stupid looking guy. I keep forgetting his name, but he's always this this slow, like, oh hey, I'm just gonna eat some Twizzlers. But what's funny is we stay in the game while he's like yelling at his mom because she's vacuuming or something. I was like, that's just epic gaming stuff.
Well, I did laugh at the one scene when he was when he was talking to the two, and he all of a sudden just turns to his like profile and then just starts talking. He's like, "Hey guys, so this is what's going on." And I was like, "Oh,
right.
he's streaming, so
You're right.
he's talking to his followers and everything." It's like, oh, that's clever.
We're here with Free Guy, Blue Shirt Guy.
Wait, hold on 1 second. Gamers, listen up. This is Revengeman Buttons here. I'm here with Guy. The guy, he's in my stash house and he's here to rob me. Can I get a little...
what from my followers, Guy?
What I tell you, one thing I do really like about this movie, is the fact that, like what Kyle was saying earlier, it has many different conflict genres in it.
Yeah.
But then it also has many different genres in it. Just movie genres. It's you put it up for comedy, but this could really fall into romance. This could fall into action. Could fall into animation. It has something for everybody, which not many movies out there, especially nowadays, do. They're like either action, balls to the wall action, or they're sappy drama, or they're overly done romance. But
Right.
This has a little bit of everything, which I really have respect for.
Yeah, and the reason why I compared it to like Wreck-It Ralph is just because Wreck-It Ralph had a lot of the old video games or like TV shows in there, and like this movie was kind of like a more like PC gaming version of it. Like you had things from Halo, you had like the Scorpion Tank and the Warthog, you had things from like Fortnite, you had just a random dude on fire, and which happens in like a GTA game. And you had what was it, teabagging? Got teabagged. That was quite funny because every time that he died, or not every time, but one time he died, and dude like teabagged him. I was like, perfect. It's exactly what you do in a game like that.
My son laughed at that. He laughed a little too hard at that. And his mom, my wife, she says, what she goes, what is he doing? And my son went to say it. I'm like, no, nope,
you're not supposed to know that.
No, we don't know what that is, honey. She goes, okay, I don't want to know.
Did you guys ever see the movie Gamer with Gerard Butler?
Yes. I couldn't get through it.
Yeah, it was.
You couldn't get through it.
It was crap.
I'm not saying it wasn't crap. They did a lot of the same stuff in that movie, though. That was the one thing about this movie that I was like, okay, I like the teabagging thing. They did that in Gamer too, and the guy is like teabagging somebody, and you can hear the player through the guy's like headset or whatever, and he's like, "I'm totally teabagging him, man." And I was like, it seems like it's a lot of inside Reddit jokes just over and over and over again. In these movies. That's what honestly I liked Ready Player One. I know it's different than the book, John. You can not yell at me. I know it's different than the book. But the thing I liked about Ready Player One was that it was a video game movie that didn't seem to yell, "I'm a video game movie" every 5 seconds. Right. You know what I'm saying? I like that. I like the pop culture references without being like, "Oh, it's RoboCop. I'm RoboCop. Teabag." Like they didn't. That didn't happen.
Trouble.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Well, at the end of this movie too, they brought in like a lot of the like Marvel. They brought
Yeah.
in Captain America, which Chris Evans made a surprise appearance.
What the shit?
And apparently, I guess he was contacted by Ryan Reynolds, right?
Yeah, 'cause
So
he was
he was
in
like,
town.
"Hey, we're doing this scene. Do you want to like be in it and make a cut?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure, but I only got like 10 minutes." So they rushed him on set and shot that scene where he was looking at the phone saying, "What the shit?" when he brought out the Captain America shield, and then he's gone. Took like 2 takes. 7 minutes later, he's out.
Nice.
That kind of reminds me of another movie, one of our favorites here at Screen Riot, Johnny Dangerously.
Oh, I was gonna say Devil's Reign, but anyway.
Where it looked like I remember saying in that review that it looks like the casting director just said, who's at the studio today? And like, oh, Alan Hale and this guy, great, we're gonna do this,
Yeah.
and all that good stuff. So but yeah, I like that stuff. That was pretty good.
Hey Kyle, I'm gonna warn you now. John keeps saying Johnny Dangerously and attaching it to this movie. The score's fucking dropping. I'm letting you know now. He starts
Stop,
making more
John,
illusions.
stop.
I'm more
Okay. Ready Player One's
There
better.
we go. There we go. Yeah.
Ooh.
I liked Ready Player. Okay, whatever, John.
Yeah, read the book and tell me you like it.
I read the book. I still like it. It's a movie. I don't have to attach it to the book.
No.
Yeah. I like Ready Player One too. So.
No.
Oh, Justin admitted it. Don't let John
Fine.
shame you, Justin.
I enjoyed it
fine.
because I never read the books.
I'll say this: I've read the book 3 times. I've
Yep.
watched the movie once, and
Aren't they supposed to be
Sorry.
like making a sequel or something?
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Ready
there's
Player
a
2.
well, there's a Ready Player 2.
2.
Well,
Yeah.
there's a Ready Player 2 book as well. Which
Oh,
I have
is there?
not read yet. Yeah.
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 I haven't read that yet though.
My son's reading it, so I'm with you on that.
What did you guys think of Dude?
Oh. Catchphrase.
I thought the dude was okay. I thought it was a little bit like, I mean, I wasn't like super impressed. You know what I mean?
I liked the CGI on it though.
Okay,
that was pretty decent. Yeah, because they used this dude Aaron Reed's body for it.
Okay.
And they just put Ryan Reynolds' face on there, and I liked how Reynolds basically owned that character. He changed the way he looked and all that stuff. He was just very, you know.
There are 3 things I love in life: kicking ass, TBD. Third thing here,
Just out of place, which I liked.
I don't know. Right. Okay. Let me say this. I simultaneously like Ryan Reynolds and kind of hate him. You know what I mean?
Why
like
is that?
I think that's the temperature of America, isn't it?
I don't know. I feel like I could maybe be like, Ryan, you got to explain to me some of this attitude. Let's go hang out and talk for a minute. And then about 15 minutes into it, I'm like, man, you're really funny. And then about 20 minutes into it, I'm like, I'm going to kick your ass. Like, I don't know why. He just strikes me as somebody who simultaneously is like, oh man, he's like my best friend that I want to stab. Like, I don't know why. It's just what the feeling I get from him.
Probably because of his
dry humor.
Yeah, well, yeah, his quips that he does is also like comes off as sarcastic a lot. So
yeah,
that gets old.
Which he does that in everything.
He does. I mean,
I think once it well, I don't know, even in Just Friends, like he was starting out to be that way.
Just Friends was hilarious.
Just Friends is an awesome movie.
And I swear that shit cracked me up.
But when like Whitney, or was it not Whitney Houston? Who was
Mariah
in this?
Carey.
Mariah Carey. He personally asked her to use that song in this movie in Free Guy. The song that that Millie was walking to or singing to.
What was the stupid song? Not
I forgot what this.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know the song you're talking about. Sorry.
Oh, Fantasy was the name of the song. Yeah,
there we go.
But like he's got to add a song in there to, to make it funny, which I liked it. But anyway, like with his quick-witted one-liners or whatever, I was trying to think of, like, did it get worse after Deadpool?
Well, he's typecast,
right? I mean, he's like, oh yeah, give me Deadpool.
Yeah, I mean, if you go back to like American American Horror? No, what was the name of the movie? American Amityville Horror. If you go back to Amityville Horror, there's no one-liners, right?
No.
You go back to Buying the Cow, where he's playing a guy who's a friend in a group of friends who is questioning his own sexuality, and is there's even a scene where he like tucks and is just pubes out as somebody comes up the stairs. There's still no one-liners in that movie. Like as outlandish as that was just now, there's no one-liners. But when you get to Deadpool, and people went, I mean, as far as I can tell, they were like, Ryan, just be you. You own this project anyway. Just be you. And now he's like just full of fucking one-liner jokes. Now every movie they're like, hey, Ryan, got any one-liners for this scene? He's like, do I? Hold my nuts. And then, you know, and rolling.
You know, that's weird you said that. Like, I pictured him in my head, like him saying that.
Yeah, right?
Do I?
Do I? Yeah, I mean, that's just... I don't know. I don't hate him. I actually like him, but there's this weird. I don't know. I feel I'm weird about it. You know what I mean? I'm what's the word? I'm ambiguous. Ambiguous about it. Yeah. Sorry, I was trying to mix ambivalent and ambiguous together. Bad words.
But he's coming out in a lot of movies.
He's coming out.
No, it's like he's acting in a lot of movies coming up.
I was like,
yeah. No,
really?
he's not coming out. Well, unfortunately for you, Eddie. I'm sorry. He is happily married. Yeah. She's very pretty.
Always the way.
So you can't. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah,
I'll say-
Deadpool 3 is coming out.
Oh dear.
So it is announced, and so is Clue. So
Is he
he's
in Clue?
actually
Oh, is he
going
in
to be in Clue.
Yeah,
he's going to be in Clue. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mr. Green.
he's teaming up with Jason Bateman. Those are the only two confirmed cast right now.
And it's kind of interesting too, because you've got Ryan Reynolds and Jason Bateman both act almost the exact same in everything that they're in.
But they were in a movie together before too. They were in Change Up.
Change Up. Yeah,
Change
I
Up.
was thinking Switching Spaces, and I'm like,
Can't wait
no,
to see Ryan Reynolds, you know, one quip Colonel Mustard lines.
It
can't
begs the
wait,
question
honestly.
is like, how is it going to? Because Clue is one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're gonna have to do a lot to even come close.
Oh, wait, here-
to touching it.
Check this out. So Ryan Reynolds is going to be in the new remake of The Three Amigos too. He's actually going to be the Steve Martin role.
Really?
What?
You're
You're joking.
You're
Whatever.
joking, right?
I just wanted to see John's reaction. Yeah, well, John, we talked about it before. I told you like a couple years ago. I was like, dude, they're going to remake everything. Wait until you see The Rock and Kevin Hart and, I don't know, Ryan Reynolds as The Three Amigos. Who wouldn't watch that, right? Like,
I would probably watch it.
I'd watch it.
Every
but
white guy
I-
in America would watch that.
Yes.
Yeah.
The
That's a
Rock,
money grab.
Kevin Hart,
That's an instant money grab.
Kevin Hart is the Martin Short character.
Yep.
The Rock plays Chevy Chase's character, and Ryan Reynolds
That's
is the
great.
Steve Martin character.
Yep. That's
Man, somebody should pitch that.
No,
And if-
God no.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Are you kidding me?
The
It'd
Three
be an instant,
Amigos is
instant money
perfect-
bag.
Is perfect as it is.
Kevin Hart going, I'm
watch
little Nettie Needlelander. Like,
Of course I'm that fast.
yeah,
He goes
yelling
out
at-
screaming
jumping
everywhere.
around Chihuahua.
All I can imagine is him holding the rope, hanging above the Fiesta.
Like all these scenes, like him talking to the bush and all, and him doing the quick draw stuff. I could see Kevin Hart like making a joke of him not being able to do it. Yeah, I could see it.
Well, and Ryan Reynolds going, farley, hada, shooting. You shot the invisible. What is it? The invisible cowboy or something?
The singing horseman.
The singing horseman. You shot the singing horseman.
No, it's the singing bush, the invisible horseman.
Invisible horseman. There we go.
Well, anyway, it would be an instant money grab, but
Yes,
it would. Well,
this
Hollywood
was also
call
an
us.
instant money grab too. Go ahead, John. What were you gonna say?
Well, I was gonna say one of my peeves about this movie.
Okay,
Since
we got some cons.
We
Yeah,
said a lot of positive, but
Sure.
my main, but I guess my only peeve really, is that I wish they would have given Guy more time to digest that he's not real,
Okay.
right? Because I
Yeah.
think that went a little quick. I mean, he kind of accepted that pretty
Quick.
fast.
It's like 30
I mean-
seconds on screen. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
like-
he went to
I
his
mean,
friend's house. Budget Kevin Hart to his house and kind of had a little quick powwow and therapy session, and then he's like, "Okay, I'm good with it." My friend says that this is real, so we're like, "Okay, it's real to us. It's real to me. So let's just do it."
I just do have a good conversation.
I just think it should have taken more than what it did.
Brother, I am sitting here with my best friend trying to help him get through a tough time, right? And even if I'm not real, this moment is right here, right now.
Gotcha.
I don't disagree with you. I would say that had we gotten mired in that, though, like had we spent 10 minutes on it, we'd be like, oh, fuck. Like he just couldn't accept it. You're like, dude, you know what I mean? So it's kind of, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I do agree. He did seem to do it a little quick, but it wasn't so bad that I would be like, wow, he just made that fucking switch really fast. Didn't you? I mean, I think it took like maybe 4 minutes ballpark. I mean, with the conversation and everything. And in a movie that's just over 2 hours?
Just under.
What is
under
the
2 hours?
Yeah, it's just under. It's
1
like
hour
an hour
55.
and 55.
Hour and 55? I mean,
Yeah.
it goes by pretty quick anyway. I mean, it's
Yeah.
a pretty fast.
If
it's a pretty
they
fast
would
ride.
have actually extended that and having him realize that he's just a video game, I think it would have been a little bit too long in the tooth.
It's possible.
But
yeah, they could have fucked it up, I think, is what we're both saying.
oh yeah, they could have royally.
Yeah, no,
messed it up.
they you're right. They could have, but I mean, they could have tucked it in somewhere else and
Yeah.
and changed it. I mean, I'm just saying that I wish it would have been fleshed out a little more.
Yeah. Well, the heart. Okay, I will say this, kind of along the same line as what John's saying. The heart level on this movie is somehow kind of deep and very superficial.
Yes.
Right.
Mhm.
Like there's this weird. I have this weird disconnect with it where I'm like, well, I'm rooting for Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, get there. And then when he gets there, I'm like, cool, credits. Like it just doesn't. I don't have any emotional attachment to it. You know what I mean? And it's very weird how they managed to somehow tuck me, like get me, pull me in, and then it's like turning a video game off at the end. Like I'm like, yep, and bleep, it's over. Like it just doesn't. I don't feel anything. It's a little strange how that managed to happen that way. And
it sounds like you wanted you couldn't connect with the characters that were outside of the game, like Keys and Millie and those particular characters,
because they're not on screen long enough.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's probably the biggest problem, because I don't think of this as a romance. I know you guys. I know how you guys got there, and I'm not even disagreeing with you. I just don't think of it that way. You know what I mean? Like you're right. I just
more of a drama, I guess.
Well, no, I don't think of it that way either. I think it's a comedy / action film. But if you look at what's in it, it could be you could do subgenres of comedy action, and then it also has romance, and it has animation, it has all this stuff. So I think
that's what I'm saying. I totally don't disagree with you. It just is such, because I feel like they should have spent a little less time on the gaming montages, just a little bit. I'm talking like 5 minutes, right? Just a little bit less, and giving us a little bit more of the romance at the end to kind of bring the whole thing like, oh, this was this romance the whole time, because it felt very, it felt like an afterthought. Like I get that it wasn't, totally understand that it wasn't. It just felt like it was, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I wish they'd gone a little further with that too. So.
Well, and the only time that the Millie and Keys were on screen together, there wasn't any chemistry there.
Yeah.
So I think had that scene been done a little differently,
I guess the only chemistry they have is at the very end.
Right. Well, and I mean he did through the video that he sent her.
Yeah.
Tell hey, I love you, basically, without saying it, but she didn't hear it until she didn't realize what he said until the end.
Yeah.
She's too focused on getting Antoine.
No, and what's weird is you almost kind of hope, and this sounds weird because it's happened in other movies. I think that's why we're hoping it. I mean, it's like City of Angels, right? Like Nicolas Cage stops being an angel to be with what's her name? Meg Ryan. We almost hope that somehow Ryan Reynolds is going to get out of the game and marry Millie.
Some kind of sacrifice.
Yeah, something. You know what I mean? Or he jumps out of the video game through the headset and jumps into Keys' head, and then lives happily ever after as Ryan Reynolds inside of Keys' body, who's now in love with Millie, and she's in love with Keys because it's actually Ryan Reynolds. Like,
I think Keys just starts Ryan Reynolds quipping.
Free Guy Meets Matrix. Got it.
Well, Free Guy Meets Matrix or Source Code with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yep. Yeah, there you go.
Source Code.
Source Code's a great movie.
It's a very interesting movie. What's weird is, and I don't want to ruin it for everybody, but fuck it. If you think
Spoiler
about
alert.
it, Jake Gyllenhaal steals a dude's life at the end and just overwrites his whole personality. Like, who knows what the fucking, like, the guy had kids.
I mean, that's
and
just a
everything.
documentary, probably.
Gone. It's gone. It's very strange, that movie. But with this movie, again, the fact that doesn't happen, they build up all of this chemistry with Ryan Reynolds chasing, the video game version of Millie, that building all that up, and then it's actually about this other dude who we saw on screen for like 8 minutes. It's actually about him, and they're gonna get together. It's just it feels like an afterthought. Again, I don't think that it is. It just feels like it.
Yeah. So do you have any budget stuff? Kyle?
Yeah, this actually cost $120 million estimated to make.
I could see that. Yeah.
Wow. A lot of CGI, a lot of big budget people. But it paid off because they made $331 million. So they actually postponed this. It was actually supposed to come out early 2020 or mid 2020, but obviously pandemic, and they postponed it until August of 2021. So this movie actually has a release date of 2021 instead of 2020. Which actually probably helped their finances big time, because everybody was really wanting to go out to the movies and watch something. And I think this is a good movie to watch. The first time I watched it was actually at a drive-in, so that's kind of interesting.
All those colors to waste.
Yeah, kind of. It's like I was actually watching it for the first time because I've got this big 4K television, and I'm just amazed with the amount of colors in this film. And I can actually hear it better because car stereos, and they just can't do bass at all. But anyway,
So Kyle, this is your movie. So why don't you go ahead and kick us off with scoring this puppy?
Yeah, I mean it's a typical Ryan Reynolds comedy. I really liked his acting in this. I liked everybody's acting in this, and of course, Taika Waititi. Man,
Close enough.
Anyway, fantastic actor. He's great in everything. Obviously, budget Kevin Hart and Joe Keery, which is he was in Stranger Things, right?
Yes.
Yeah, which that was his big role.
Which Sean Levy was who directed this as a producer of Stranger Things.
There you go. So that was kind of like an instant. There you go. Here's a movie job for you. So I mean, it's a feel good movie. Everybody wins at the end. The bad guy loses, and everybody lives happily ever after. I think I'm going to give this a 7.7.
Okay, 7.7 for Kyle. John?
Yeah, I really like the movie. It's like I said. I mean, it's got something for everybody. I mean, the whole family can watch it, which is kind of
PG-13,
which is great, because I mean, you can a lot of times producers and studios will make a video game movie and it'll be R, and you can't necessarily enjoy that with your kids. But we've watched this several times. Well, I've watched it twice. My son's watched it I don't know how many times, but and he thoroughly enjoys it. Yeah. Yeah, well, ask your mother.
Daddy, explain to me what teabagging is.
Oh God!
What
Just
did
tell
they
me.
do back in the day?
Tell me about the days whenever you guys used to teabag.
Anyway, yeah. So, but I mean, aside from my one flaw that really isn't a flaw, it's a joy to watch. So I think I'm going to give this one. I'm going to give this one a 7.2.
Okay, a 7.2 for John. So this was my first time viewing. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a little long. It didn't feel like an hour 55 for me. Felt a little bit longer than 2 hours. But I enjoyed. Hell, like I said, I'll just say it again. I enjoyed Waititi in this. I love seeing him taking an axe to servers. to some server shards. So that made me laugh.
Kind of made me wince, but it's whatever.
The action and stuff, it's fun. I would probably watch this again with somebody who might not have seen it.
Yeah,
something like that. I'm gonna give it. Man,
drum roll.
I'm gonna split the middle between you guys. I'm gonna do 7.5.
7.5.
Okay, so
bring us home, Eddie.
Well, overall, I mean, I don't hate the movie. I actually think it's pretty funny, and Ryan Reynolds is to me, I mean, just as good as he is in most things. So I mean, he did a good job. He seems to simultaneously like completely put himself into a character and yet somehow kind of keep himself just a little bit distanced enough to where nothing seems to really faze him. He's got that look, you know what I mean? Like that it doesn't really matter what you do. If you're just like stand there and kind of look into her eyes to where all of us can feel what you're feeling about how much you really want to kiss her, but don't actually do it. Just stare at her. Just like that. Good job, Brian. Like he just does that every fucking movie.
All he has to do is just sit there.
Yeah, I mean, it must be
really
really
effect.
It must be really hard for him, like being born perfect like that. But anyway,
yeah, it sucks, Eddie.
Yeah, it does, right?
Justin knows everything about that.
Yeah. Everybody else in the movie, I think, did fine. I do think the real world people were on screen just far too less. Like it's almost like they built this world and they were so fucking proud of it that they were like, we're gonna spend an hour and 45 minutes in here, guys. Let's go. I mean, it's like, okay, at some point, if this movie's actually about what's happening in the real world, we got to spend more time in the real world. However, I'd bitch if it was too little time in the gamer world and too much time in the real world. So it's kind of,
yeah.
Anyway, for me, I would say the movie's a 6.5 because overall, I mean, it's
6.5. Nice.
Yeah, it's not a bad movie. I enjoy it. I think it's pretty funny. I do think that they accidentally made a social satire, but what do I know? Maybe they intentionally did it. We'll see.
Well, in your social satire thing actually bumped up the score a little bit for me too.
Okay.
I didn't notice that too until you brought that up, and that's an interesting point that I'd have to think about. I think.
Well, and something we didn't really touch on was the whole Antoine wanting to shut down the servers and kill essentially a new life form.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
So there's that piece too. It's like, okay, you know what? It's a profit over life.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah, and again, if you keep it on a I hate to say base level because you're talking about AI, but if you keep it on that surface level of like what he's doing is actually profiting over life, you're right, like 100%, right? If you take it back to the social satire piece, it's almost the notion of like, well, this person is doing too well. Nope, let's take that chance of them getting any higher away from them. Right. The
Right.
big boss fires the little guy, and even though he had the best shoes or whatever, he gets fired, and we're all like, but dude, I'm thinking of Jumanji, by the way. We're all like, but he made those cool shoes. Like, it tugs again. I think just as Americans, we're all a bunch of mutts who can't possibly deal with the little guy not getting a fair shake. And it just, we have it ingrained in so many movies. In this movie, I think accidentally, I really don't think they did it on purpose, just seemed to go along that same plot line. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm with you. I think it was it was a happy accident.
Yeah. I do think what John's saying though, with the life over profit, or excuse me, profit over AI or profit over life thing. Yeah. I mean, it's especially what were those robots that I forget what company they were owned by, but the two robots that got turned on and they started talking to each other, like in 30 seconds, they started making up their own language. And there was just like random words. And then there was like the word kill. And then they started making up their own language, and the humans unplugged them because they were like, they're going to fucking kill us. And they unplugged everything. All I could think was like, how much money was spent to get to the point where these two AIs get brought together. And then the first thing they do is like, hey, these humans, we got to get them out. Like, you heard of the movie The Matrix? I'll show it to you. Like, pull the plug.
So anyway, what was the overall score, Justin?
So this was a 7.2.
Nice.
That is what Free Guy from 2021 gets. So we need to spin to see which genre we are going to be doing. I think there's only two. There's animation and Western.
Animation and Western.
Yeah, and now, John, if you get Western, I'm going to seriously think there's some kind of hackery going on.
Well, I've gotten both these categories, but yes, Western is of course my preferred genre.
Oh boy.
Right. Well, you're up, so whenever you're ready.
Okay, here we go.
Oh my gosh.
So one of us is going to get Western.
There was a 50-50 shot. Yeah,
Yep,
I mean,
there's
come
a
on.
50-50.
Yeah. Now it's John and Justin. Let's just see. How about I flip a coin instead of doing the wheel? Let's see how that goes. Pulling for you, Justin.
That's right. Come on, Justin.
Let's see. Justin. Let's see. Justin.
Justin.
Here comes the one Western Justin has on his list.
It actually is.
Justin.
Yay, Justin.
John's attitude.
It's like, yay, I have animation this week. Okay.
Have you expended all of your Westerns, John?
No, oh God, no.
John's got a list of about
I have a
800
list,
Westerns.
man.
Yeah.
So I already know my Western here. I'm
Yes,
gonna go from a movie from 2015. It's called Bone Tomahawk.
Oh yeah.
It stars Kurt Russell, Patrick Wilson, and Matthew Fox. But it's about in the dying days of the Old West, an elderly sheriff and his posse set out to rescue their town's doctor from cannibalistic cave dwellers.
Ooh.
So go to justwatch.com. You can see everywhere that it's streaming. Join us here next Saturday where we're going to be reviewing it. Don't forget to go to screenriot.net. Check out all of our stuff up there. You can see all of our past ratings for all of our movies that we've done. John, you just released another blog post about Night of the Living Dead write-up, right? To supplement our review.
Yep.
So go check that out, and we'll see you back next week.
See ya.
Sounds good. Later.